Hey, this is Release Rotation. I'm your host, John W. Snyder. So here's the deal. I want to start a podcast, and I have started a podcast, I should say. I think I'm like 50 episodes in. But the thing is, I'm still trying to figure out what my niche is, because I can't get away from talking about sports. It's way easier for me to do that than to get some interviews from some people to talk about their story behind their story, how they got started and what they do. So this is, I guess, maybe the story behind my story. In elementary school, wanted to do broadcast journalism. I wanted to be a sports reporter. I wanted to talk about sports. I wanted to do play-by-play. That's what I wanted to do from the age of about 10 or 11, probably 4th grade, 5th grade. That's all I ever wanted to do. Till I got to college, and then I majored in broadcast journalism in college. That's what my degree is in. When I was in 6th or 7th grade, I remember reading a story, how people would make up games in their heads and do play-by-play, and I did that. And what's interesting about that is when I got to college, Dave Hunziker, who is the play-by-play guy for Oklahoma State basketball and football, he talked about that too, and how he would be driving down the road and do play-by-play as for whatever he saw. That's how he practiced in his car, just to get some more reps in. And it's just super interesting. And I just say all that because that is my story behind the stories. Why I'm doing a podcast. What my passions are. And my passions are sports. College sports, mainly basketball and football, and NBA. I'm not going to hide my true colors. I graduated from Oklahoma State University. So I am an Oklahoma State Cowboy fan. I cheer for the Cowboys, football, basketball, baseball, wrestling, golf, tennis, women's soccer. I left out sports, equestrian, whatever it might be, track and field, cross country. I want Oklahoma State to win in everything. And I will cheer for them in everything that they're competing in. And that goes for the same with the Oklahoma City Thunder. And that's what I'm trying to figure out. Do I still pursue that and talk about sports? Or what does that look like? Or can I still do that and mix in some cool stories of people doing some cool things? Some stories about people and how they got started. Kind of like my story. I'm 38 now. That was 28, 27 years ago. And I'm not doing that. And I regret that every day. Just about that I'm not doing something in sports, broadcasting, journalism, reporting, whatever it might be. I do regret that. And I don't want other people to have those regrets. And 38's young. I mean, if you're 20 and listening to this, you think that's old. But I'm 38, and I think that's young. I've got a good 50 years ahead of me. And so that's really young when you look at it that way. Even if I have 40 years ahead of me, 45, that's a lot of time left. So what do? Do I mix in some of those stories as I continue to talk about sports? Because I'm very passionate about sports, and that's what I like to talk about. And so I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep talking about sports, and that's fine. If you expected something else, I apologize. If you know me, and if you've known me, like some of my friends who probably don't listen to this, they might not even know I have a podcast. But some of my friends who I've known for decades at this point, 30 plus years, they know that this is what I wanted to do. My family knows this. And so if this is my only outlet at this point in my life right now, as I'm trying to figure this out and navigate it and maybe one day turn it into a career, it's fine. I know I've rambled, and I appreciate you listening. So I'm actually going to get into sports a little bit right now, and I'll talk a little bit more about my story and the future and how I got sidetracked and how I'm not doing sports journalism to get paid for it. And that's the thing. Like, what are you passionate about? What would you do in your life 40 hours a week and not get paid to do it? I would do something in sports. I would talk about sports, whatever it might be. And I know there's all kinds of talking heads out there and people who have opinions, and that's fine. We all have opinions, whether it's about sports, politics, religion, technology, whatever it might be. It doesn't matter. We all have opinions, and I will respect everyone's opinion, no matter what it is. Because we're not all going to agree, and that's okay. As long as if we can have a civil debate about things. And most of my heated debates are about sports, and that's awesome. I work with a ton of Lakers fans because I live in Southern California now, and I have for the last 13 years, almost 14, and I work with a ton of Lakers fans, and I had some fun debates today about Lonzo Ball and LeBron and what that Lakers team looks like and what it can look like. The Thunder, and that's what I'm going to get into, is I don't know what's going on with the Thunder right now. Because Paul George scored 25 points last night in the fourth quarter. The Thunder were down 19, largest comeback ever for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Down 19 points. Came back and beat the Nets, which they shouldn't have never been down 19 points to the Brooklyn Nets anyways. Because they're horrible, let's be honest. Maybe not horrible, but they're not good. They're not as good as the Thunder. And that showed, I guess, you could say, after that game. That was amazing. And another thing that I want to talk about is the college football playoffs real quick. 4 teams, it's so funny. Like, we never had a playoff, and then we did, and it was 4 teams. And now everybody wants more. And that I actually agree with. I think there should be 8 teams in the college football playoff. No more than that. No more at all. Because college football is a lot different than basketball. You only play 12 games a year. 13 maybe. You don't play. I don't even know what college basketball plays now. You have the NCAA tournament with 68 teams now, right? 70, 68, 69? I don't even know at this point. It's a lot. It's too many. But there's also 300 and something programs that play college basketball. There's only like 120 that play college football. So I get that. And that's another reason, though. You don't need more than 8. And the way I see it this year, the Power 5, conference championships, conference championship games, those winners should be in. So that's 5 right there, right? We've got the Sooners, we've got Clemson, Alabama, Ohio State, and this is sad. I don't even know who won the Pac-10. Pac-12? What are they? Pac-12. I don't even know who won that. It was Washington and Utah, and I fell asleep. I want to say Washington won. Anyways, those 5 teams should be in the playoff, no matter what. Because they won their conference championships. So that leaves you 3 other teams. Notre Dame, obviously. Georgia. And not really sure who that 8th team would be, but you get my point. There should be 8 teams. I would love to hear your thoughts. If you do listen to this on Anchor, you can actually leave me a recording of your thoughts. If you don't have Anchor, download it from the iOS store, or I think it's also on Google Play. Maybe not. I don't know. I know for sure it's in the iOS store. Download it. Send me a message. Give me your thoughts. Like I'll put you on. I'll put you on my next podcast of your thoughts on college football playoff and NBA, because that's what's going on right now. I don't care about any other sports. That might turn off a lot of hockey fans, which I don't mind hockey. I just don't pay attention to it like I do other sports. But I'll talk hockey if we need to. But right now it's NBA and college football. Thanks for listening. And if you are listening and still listening after over 11 minutes, I appreciate it. Thanks a lot. And I will talk to you soon, because this is going to become a regular ordeal. Hopefully more often than not, because I love talking about sports, as you can tell. It's where my passion is. I think Kyler Murray should win the Heisman. I heard an argument that he's played more quarters than Tua has for Alabama, that Tua's been done typically after 3 quarters, which I don't actually know if that's true or not. I just heard that. Maybe it is, maybe it's not, but does that matter? Murray shouldn't get docked for that. Again, let me know your thoughts if you're on Anchor. Hit me up. Thanks for listening. We'll talk later.